So today on Have a Knife Day, we're going to be talking about doing a leather project for some of my fixed blade knives. Because not all fixed blade knives come with a belt loop. Sometimes they come with a Tek-lok. Now this is a Benchmade Adamas with aftermarket scales and crew wear, but we're not here to talk about this. I'll put a link in the descriptions if you want to learn more about this beautiful blade. What I want to show you is the Tek-lok. So it's bolted on here. Now, mind you, I find that the sheath itself has a little bit of a challenge because this is a elastic band. And it kind of makes things a little difficult to use. Be that as it may, I digress. So back over to the Tek-lok. So you can wear this attached to a belt. So we're going to open this up. See the spacer? If you have a thinner belt, you can move this spacer and it'll clamp up more firmly against whatever belt size you're running. I'm going to take this out for this, and it's a pretty easy thing to do. There you go. So this piece of leather here is from an earlier project. Put it in here. This represents a belt, your belt, and it locks in like that. So this will be worn horizontally on your belt. In the state of California, it is not a good idea to let a jacket or a shirt hang over a knife. You can get in trouble doing that. And I find that rotating this up, to where vertically, I don't like how it sits on my belt. It's a little bit too high, to be honest with you. But wait. So here we have the Bastianelli Binome. It also came with a Tek-lok or a Tek-lok-like device. So I happen to have this kydex nylon belt loop set up here from another project. I have two of these. So I'll mount it to this knife. That's an issue. So the Binome or something like that, I've done it, any knife that I have that does not have a dedicated belt loop, I've run this on there. And I wear it very often. I'm wearing a knife right now that does the same thing. So, but I have to go outside of my own sphere of capability because I don't currently work on kydex. The place I live in isn't conducive to that. Okay, before I go off on a side tangent any longer, let's take a look at some of the knives that inspired me to do this project. Now, this comes from Big B's Custom Leatherworks. He's on Instagram and Facebook. He does a fantastic job. And he did a collaboration with Tops Knives. Now, he designed the knife. We'll take a look at the knife here real quick. Bottle opener, something to take a handle off if you're like a coffee or something like that on a campfire. That notch is there to facilitate you going in there, lifting it up and pulling it off. It's got great jimping. Open your beer, etc., etc. That is either a window opener or a screwdriver, depending on the size of the screw you're dealing with. And it goes into this really nice kydex sheath. But what you notice on this one, because I have it taken apart, is it does have a belt loop. It does. And what Big B has done is... now it's going to give me trouble. Watch it. Just to let you know, I do my own stunts. Okay. So, you look at this. Sewn. It slips through here. Let me see if I can get this. There we go. Now we're on camera. Everybody wants to fight with me. And it goes right there. It wraps around. Snap, belt loop. Voila! And this sets nice and snugly up against your body. If I wanted to take something like this and maybe lower this down a little bit more so it doesn't ride up as high, maybe you want it to ride a little bit lower, all you would need to do is make a leather loop like this, sew it across here, or maybe if this is a little bit longer, you just drop your sewing a little bit further down, so this would hang lower. Or you might just have one here and then sew a little bit further down here to keep this further down. Yeah, I hope you get what I'm sending to you, because you know, there you go. So I like this. I like this, and here is the Condor Siggern. Now they're made over in El Salvador, and it's basically, to a certain extent, the same thing. Screw, screw, snap, snap. So here's the thing about the snaps. The screws have to go down below the snap, because if it bulges up, it's not going to make contact. And I had to learn that the hard way, because I've already made one, which I'll show you here in a minute. They do theirs a little bit different. Let me see if I can, no, I'm not gonna be able to. So there's this, right? You see that there are more than one place you can screw this in. All you have to do is unscrew it, flip it around, and it goes from right hand carry to left hand carry. I like options. And also they did theirs a little bit differently. They shaved down their leather, and that's all well and good. That's a little bit more complicated than I want to be. So I'm doing it the Big B custom leatherwork way. Of course, if I wanted to, I could have sent this over to Big B, and I'm pretty sure he could have hooked me up at a fair price. But I wanted to do something on my own. There you go. So here is my first attempt. Now this is an Emerson fixed Super CQC7. I did a video on this one. I got this signed over at Blade Show West when it was in Long Beach last year. It's 2022, so 2021. That's right, Mr. Emerson's a great guy. Like him a lot, love his knives. Some restorations, yada, yada, yada. Be that as it may, we're not here about the knife. We're here about the carry method. So, one thing I wish I had was like a kydex form. You know, you press down, you wet your leather. If you had something that could vacuum it out, the leather would take the shape of what it is being formed to. So here's this. I have a big, wide piece of leather here. I dyed it myself, contoured it, yada, yada, yada. Little infantry cross rifle stamp action here. So what I'm gonna do is just slip this out. And then you'll see that it wraps around, and hopefully you could tell that there is a little bit right there. There you go. Because I wet the leather and I hammered it onto the kydex a little bit just to give it a little bit more shape. But this is, technically I suppose I could reuse this too, you know, on another knife. Have to give that a thought. And it just goes behind here into that, and then it comes over and snap and snap. I wore this earlier today. I just finished this up this morning. And before I show you how I'm doing everything, I just kind of wanted to do one off camera so I can get a better understanding. I sewed it using wax cord. I might find something a little bit different, because it's a thick, it's very, very thick simulated catgut, what have you. But it is, well, I'm pretty sure this isn't going to go anywhere. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to go anywhere. It rides nicely on the belt, very, very close. Sometimes you'll see sheaths, they'll hang out like this as you're wearing them. I kind of not like that. But this is my first attempt. So the knife I'm going to be making another one of these for is another knife from Emerson Knives. This is the fixed SEAX, S-E-A-X, sax, like saxophone? No, S-E-A-X, SEAX or sax. Now, if you're looking at closed captions, I've just said sex knife several times. That's pretty funny, but I'm not. So here you go. I enjoy this knife. I have their folding sax, S-E-A-X, and I have their fixed. And if you're me, well, by golly, the reason why I made one for this is because I have a folding Super CQC7. So I like, you know, I'm I'm nerding out on knives like that. I like to wear a fixed version and a folding version when I can. There you go. The method behind my madness. So here is my new wraparound. Okay. You can do many things. Now, I want to wear it as it is on me, being a righty. Alrighty. Some of the things I could have done is I could have made this wider because I'm running into this. I could have just gone from here to here, but I think I'm going to wet this. See about softening up the leather to the point where I could just kind of tap this shape onto it. And the idea, let's see, here and here. I've taken, yeah, as you can tell, I've taken a ink pen and made the holes. And I can see what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to change this up because I don't want the whole of my snap to be that close. So anything you see from here on, I honestly might just do this on super speed. Because if I come from here, because I want to be able to support it sufficiently, okay? And if I come up here, I'm gonna run into this, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually going to measure this out again. I'll save this piece of leather. Maybe there's another knife sheath that'll be more conducive to this particular width. And I'm gonna make something a little bit wider from here to here. That's gonna spread out the base, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm gonna leave you, and then I'm gonna start addressing the adaptations that I need to do. And we'll see you soon.
Sent him to Afghanistan and then into Iraq. The bullet that came speeding out went deep into his rack. He hit the ground, but his grenade found enemy on track. He ain't gonna jump no more. What a hell of a way to die. Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die.
So just like that, and we're done. So this is my second one, and I still have more to learn. Because for me, this is going to be fine for me. Of course, I do not make these for anyone else, or maybe my brother. I'll make one or something like that if he asks, because I do have to learn. I have to remember to make it just a little bit wider so my snaps do not go up on the side. Why is this here? Because this was my first one, and look at that. See that? So this is a hard lesson because at the end of the day, I have to make sure that this wraparound, it'll deflect the leather. So I had to make sure that this is far enough down to give it distance to move around, but especially this one right here. You can see that. Hope you can see some of the light. I needed to take into account this one was like right on the border of the wraparound, and that was not good. irritated the freaking stars and stripes out of my buttercream donuts or whatever. And I had to do it over again. Just had to do it over again. Of course, here we have the little embossed cross rifles. It's really quite amazing what you can get a stamp of, and I can't find it right now. But there's some cross rifles here. Let me see if I can get a little bit of light on this. There you go. There you go. I am thinking about getting a Have a Knife Day leather stamp made. I'm doing pricing, etc., etc. right now. But here we go. Once again, I have my Emerson fixed blade sax, and it came with a Tek-lok or a Tek-lok like device. And now I have a belt loop for it. And if I wanted to, this will fit a good size belt. But if you know the width of your belt, you can always add another line of thread to really, if you don't want it to slide around at all, if you really want it to grip tenaciously to the belt, you can always bring your line of thread up a little bit higher to make a more secure fitting onto your belt. Remember, I am here to encourage you to try something new. It is okay to fail. And just to let you know how many times I failed, well, there's this one and this one, and there. Trust me, there are a couple more of these because they just turn out to be too short or what have you. And there you go. It's okay to fail. That is how we learn. So, how do we learn? Well, you click that subscribe button, my friend. I'm getting plenty of views, but not enough subscriptions. I'm, hitting up to 2,000 subscribers. That's freaking awesome. Well, my 2-year anniversary is coming up this upcoming October. So, thank you for being here with me today to see me be very human and just try and try and try again. And remember, as always, have a knife